Hi, this is your weekly horoscope with me, Lada from Astrolada.com for the week of the 30th of January till the 5th of February. A new month is starting, and we have a few important astrological cosmic events that are happening, and I'm gonna discuss them with you and tell you how you can benefit, who's gonna be most affected on a personal level, on a world level events. And before that, I always want to start with an announcement. Don't forget to join me on the 12th of February for my soulmate compatibility webinar, which is going to be only $19, guys. It's on a Sunday. If you can come be present, everyone will receive a video anyway, and we're going to talk about the soul chart, the soulmate chart, the 9th divisional chart, which shows how our soul, who our soul can benefit most from on the spiritual level. And these are the people that we usually draw for a long-term partnerships in our life, marriage and best friends and children, for example, people that really help us grow in some way. So you can find out and you can understand the mysteries of the 9 division on the Vamsha chart, the soul chart, and how to compare your chart to another person to see if you have this connecting soulmate influences in between each other. Very easy technique. You don't need to know any astrology. I'll walk you through everything. It's going to be a few hours long with examples. So anyway, come and join me then. But now let's speak about this coming week and a few events that are happening. First of all, Jupiter, the planet of luck, growth, expansion, opportunity, social development, is becoming stationary. And when a planet becomes stationary, ancient astrology says this is when a planet becomes strongest, 5 times stronger. Basically, stationary means the moment when the planet starts changing direction. For the last few months, Jupiter has been moving forward. Sorry, these are my cheat notes. Has been moving forward, and now this week, maybe you're already feeling it, it's been slowing down, and it looks from Earth as if it stops, and the whole week it sits in one place. And then for the next 5 months, it will be moving backwards from next week after that. But the week and the couple of weeks preceding basically the change of direction is when a planet becomes, and especially the 7 days preceding it, which is this week basically, which we're talking about, a planet becomes so powerful when it's changing direction. It's stationary, it's kind of gathering power, you know, and it's like, imagine a train that's moving and starting to slow down and trying to hold itself and being stationary for a moment and then having to start in the other way. So especially when the biggest planet in our solar system, Jupiter, it's a mini sun in its own, it actually exudes its own light. That's why it's the planet that's considered second in power only to the sun, because the sun is the sun, the giver of light, and Jupiter is the giver of wisdom, of expansion, of growth, of social status. And when it becomes stationary, big events start to happen, and you see around the world as well, you know, like the tension is rising, and a key social event starts happening, and it's becoming stationary in the sign of Libra, by the way. It's symbolized like that, which is a sign of social justice, which is a sign of society rising, society being involved in social topics as well. But we want to talk about the personal level, how this is going to affect you. So we see that when a planet like Jupiter becomes stationary, this whole week can be like almost switching off of rails in a certain area of your life, guys. And you have to check your ascendant sign and sun sign. That's best. If you can check also your moon sign, the prediction for the moon sign, it will be even better. But if you don't know your ascendant and moon sign, just stick with the sun sign. But if you want to go more in depth, check out your ascendant sign as well. But basically, Jupiter becoming stationary in a certain house in your horoscope, in a certain area of your life, it can create a lot of buildup of energy, almost like starting to derail, starting to change directions in that area of your life, because Jupiter will be starting to change directions. So some of the key events while Jupiter is in a house happen when it's stationary, about to change direction, stationary direct or stationary retrograde. It's going to be becoming retrograde. So watch out, guys. Watch out what's going to be happening. Important key events, a gathering power in certain areas of your life. For Aries, this is in your relationships. So next week can some peak partnership, business deal, negotiations can be happening, interactions with others, and they might be starting to change directions. The wind might start to be changing. It not necessarily has to be bad or good, you know, but it's gathering power, and certain big shifts energetically and important developments can come in your life through your relationships, whether it's contracts, whether it's your business partner, whether it's your life partner, whether it's your marriage partner, whether it's a close relationship that you're connected to, that will impact you in a powerful way. For Taurus, this is going to be in their 6th house. Yes, so there might be some changes starting to gather strength, and starting to some manifestations and powerful changes happening in regards to their work, in regards to their service, in regards to important 6th house matters in life, which is like pets, which is like daily duties and responsibilities, which is health routines and regimes, which is health as well. Something shifting in a big way. You know, and because of Jupiter, I would hope it's in a positive way, because Jupiter tends to be the great benefic as we know it. But something is shifting, something is changing. If the situation's been in one certain way, there will be powerful developments now there. Then for Gemini, Jupiter is becoming stationary in your 5th house, which is love, romance, which is children, which is creative activities, which if you have your own business, the 5th house is also that. So important developments and shifts can be happening in regards to all those areas: creative activities, romance, children, students if you have students, business plans of some sort, business plans if it's your own business, basically the 5th house, because you're the creative genius behind it, and romance, love, you know. Then for Cancers, it's happening in the 4th house, so there might be changes happening in their home with the family members. On the emotional level, a big shift starting to happen within them. On the outer physical level, a big change and important developments with property, land, with place of living. Then if it's with their emotional understanding, with their emotional self-awareness of themselves, so emotionally they might feel more charged up, more intense, so to speak, because such a powerful planet is shifting gears in their 4th house of emotional happiness, emotional understanding, family, home. For Leos, it's going to be in your 3rd house, so maybe big important events. Like I'm a Leo moon, for example, so it can affect me in regards to communications, in regards to documents, something very important happening, in regards to matters of commercial activities. Commercial activities is 3rd house, writing, speaking, publishing, marketing, advertising, administrative tasks, travel of some sort, important developments. Again, I don't say bad, I don't say good. We don't know. It's a stationary planet. And it's, you know, astrologers say, oh, when it's about to become retrograde, it means bad. It's not necessarily. Retrograde planets can be extremely powerful, life transformative. And in relationships with siblings, in relationships with relatives as well, the 3rd house. So such important matters can be developing for you. You know, Jupiter has been in your 3rd house, or whatever house it is, for the last 4 or 5 months, guys, but now key events, you can see developments in regards to that. Then we have Virgo. It's happening in your 2nd house, financial changes, financial important developments connected to your tangible family as well. 2nd house rules the family that is around you, living parents or whatever, your support system that is starting to change, like a big shift happening, important developments in regards to money, important developments in regards to possessions, assets, stability, security, 2nd house. And even what you eat, 2nd house, you know, maybe some changes you might start doing there. Then for Libras, of course, Libras can feel this the most, especially Libras that are around the 23rd degree of Libra. They have their sun there, basically 13th till the 19th of October, born Libras. But all Libras will start feeling this giant planet starting to, you know, stopping and really becoming 5 times stronger there. So opportunities and changes in regards to the direction of your life, in regards to the 1st house is you, the 1st house is your vitality, the 1st house is your direction and overall goals in life, where you're heading, your confidence levels, It can be connected to career, to your status, to your health as well. So many levels of your life, Libras. This stationary Jupiter can now, especially those born around those days that I said, or those degrees around the 23rd, 19th till the 25th degree of Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Then for Scorpio, it's in the 12th house. Maybe some private secret affairs can take a very important turn, very important development. Can kind of gather strength because 12th house is a hidden house, something to do with expenses. There is likelihood of more expenses because 12th house rules such kind of things, expenses. Something to do with foreign travel, something important might be happening there, something to do with foreign relocation as well, 12th house, something to do with important research, important secrets of some sort. 12th house rules all those things. Or spiritual, on the spiritual level, something psychologically, emotionally starting to change in a big way in your subconscious. Maybe something from the past starting to gather strength to come to the surface in some way, to change your emotional world inside out. Okay, then for Sagittarius, it's going to be in your 11th house. So big developments and important developments can be brewing up in your social life with friends, can be brewing up in your in regards to your gains and earnings, which is salary that you make, which is bonuses that you can make, in regards to some titles and honors and social recognition, in regards to matters of bringing out your creative talents to the public to be observed, or appreciating art and appreciating beauty of some sort, which is our 11th house, kind of quite cultural house. Social issues of social matters can become very predominant and affect your personal life in some sort, because 11th house rules the society on the whole, the overall atmosphere in the society and how it impacts us. So something important that can affect you, Scorpios, Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn. It's happening in the 10th house. Important social status and career changes and developments are starting to brew up for you, to change direction in some way, with important authority figures, for example, or like a father figure, institution, boss of some sort, or overall in regards to your career and your social status, which can be marriage as well, the social status. But important developments can be happening. And then for Aquarius, this is the 9th house. In regards to mentor figures, in regards to parental figures as well, the 9th house rules parental figures, in regards to status, legal status of some sort, in regards to law, in regards to matters of law and legalizing something, important developments, in regards to matters of travel of some sort. There might be important developments again this part of the year, in regards to higher education, in regards to anything to do with your belief systems as well, is the 9th house, the 9th system, teachers, mentors of any sort. And finally Pisces, it's in the 8th house. Big shifts and changes are starting to brew in regards to resources that they can receive from others, and resources that can come to them through partners, business partners, marriage partners, institutions, in regards to matters of intimacy. Something is gonna something is gonna change its direction there. The 8th house, even in regards to private and secret matters and secrets as well, which is the 8th house. Okay, so that's about Jupiter becoming stationary and very powerful. And then we have Mars and Venus. They'll be in Aries for the whole of February, starting from this. Mars went into Aries on Sunday or Saturday this week, but let's speak a little bit about the two planets of passion going into Aries. And the whole week they'll be in Aries, but the whole month of February they'll be in Aries. And I speak in depth about how this is going to impact each sign in my February videos. Check them out, because I don't want to go through each sign again. And Magic Mike is making videos about Mars in Aries, so did Candace. So you have a lot of information there. I'm just going to speak a bit more generally about Mars and Venus in Aries. Passions are rising. Passions and the degree of excitability is rising. Passionate, excitable relationships are much more likely to happen. People will approach relationships not with caution. When they want, they'll just go and jump and chase after whatever they want. And it's not only relationships, Venus rules relationship, but our strongest desires and ambitions and passions. When Mars, which are ruled by Mars, Mars in Aries in its own sign, empowers us to go after those. And remember that all the planets continue to be moving direct, just Jupiter is stationary. At the same time, most of the planets are in male, masculine signs, which are action-oriented, initiative-oriented. So, oh yeah, this Mars in Aries, the whole February, and starting from this week, is going to give us a push to pursue after those things that we're usually afraid to do, that we don't have the energy, the courage to do. It's kind of like a great impulse that Mars in Aries gives us to go after our desires. But often people that are already quite pushy, they'll become furthermore so more gentle people. They would also become more assertive overall in the next month with the expression and the chasing of their desires and or love preferences of any sort. But you can also see overall how others that are usually more pushy naturally, they can be a bit overpowering now while Mars is in Aries. And Venus rules women on the whole generally. Venus going in Aries, women get more independent, more empowered. Even women start chasing after what they want, whether it's a man, a relationship, a desire, some pleasure, some luxury or ideal, whatever it is. You will see women getting more and more active still, even further active. And remember, Venus is super bright in the sky and visible during the day even still. So this empowers Venus with further masculine energy, the masculine energy of the day. And Venus centers the most masculine sign of them all in Aries. So women, power to the women kind of, or anything to do with Venus, which is beauty, art, which is luxuries and pleasures, will be chasing after much more passionately, much more enthusiastically. People, even when it comes to buying clothes and fashion, people will be more impulsive when it comes to buying luxury and pleasurable things, spending money on pleasurable things. This Mars energy makes us impatient and excitable, and we go and head first and spend and enjoy, that's for a whole month, kind of. And with all this masculine energy going around, the Sun is in a masculine sign, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn as well. Mercury will soon also join them next week in masculine sign as well. It's kind of time to move forward, to charge basically. Okay. And especially people that are Aries, they'll feel that over the next 1 month they're becoming more charismatic, more even attractive, with Venus there in their sign, but more driven to success with Mars. I am personally an Aries Sun. And the moment yesterday Mars went into Aries, even without looking at astrology, I don't look at astrology all the time, actually. The more you study astrology, the more you leave it in God's hands, interestingly enough. But I started feeling hyper. And I was like, I can't fall asleep. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, whew, what's happening, And it's almost like my heart started beating. And then I checked and I said, okay, exactly when I started getting hyper, Mars went into the sign of Aries. And even you don't have to be Aries, you have to be more sensitive to the influence to know that when Mars goes into Aries, the whole astral energy, emotional energy around gets energized. The planet of energy in the sign of energy, new beginnings. And then I'm like, and all of a sudden new ideas started coming in. Usually I would not act on them immediately, but with Mars in Aries, I'm like, okay, I have to act now. And I started putting things down. So many of you might be, if you're more sensitive, start feeling this wave of energy. And not only that, but Uranus is also in energy, highly hectic, dynamic planet. And so for a month, we might be a little bit like on hypersteroids, and in March as well, almost till the middle of March, Mars is in Aries. So we might be like hyped up and, excitable. And especially the cardinal signs can feel this very strongly. Or Mars-ruled people like Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people. Or cardinal signs like Capricorn, Libra, Aries and Cancer, because when Mars is in a cardinal sign, it triggers them more strongly. So yeah, but it's good, you know. I like, especially if you're someone who likes initiative, who doesn't like to be stuck in one place, who likes to go and chase after things, you'd enjoy that energy. If you're more relaxed, take it easy person, you might feel a bit overwhelmed energetically, a bit too stressed energetically, a bit too violated by strong personalities, because Mars rules all kind of personalities that are strong, that come across aggressively, more male, more macho, more bullying. They can come across, you know, because people become more assertive during this time. But if you yourself are cardinal sign as well, or anyone else as well, they'll become more assertive, so you can fight it off back. Okay, but definitely passions are rising there. And the good news is that Venus is also in Aries, so it helps us be a bit more charismatic and diplomatic, to soothe out this kind of fiery passion. And Venus follows after Mars. So first Mars goes there, does its macho thing, and then Venus comes and apologizes and kind of tries to smooth things out with in an Aries way again, in a more, you know, funky, not necessarily, oh, I'm so sorry, no, let me take care of you, apologize. More in a, again, in a gutsy way, in a feisty way, Venus comes and tries to, but it's obviously Venus is much more diplomatic, so you go do some messes with Mars, or start confrontations, or start things, and then Venus comes and makes them beautiful, improves them, you know, after that. Okay, anyway, and then the third thing that's happening is that this week, Mercury from Capricorn is triggering the opposition between Jupiter and Uranus, and actually even Pluto is in Capricorn very close, so it's triggering the square between Pluto and Uranus that's been going and occasionally been getting triggered from 2011, you know, and it's triggering the Jupiter-Uranus opposition, even though it's not exact now, it's within 1 or 2 degrees, 1 degree that Jupiter is away from Uranus. But because Mercury comes at the 22nd degree, 22nd, 23rd degree basically of Capricorn, and Uranus is at 22 degrees or 21 degrees, sorry, 20, Jupiter is at 23 degrees, so you see how it all connects them. And Pluto is at 18 degrees or 17 degrees, so this whole difficult constellation configuration, we call it a Tau square, which is like the letter T, you know. But I symbolize it by red because it symbolizes tension. So what can you expect? First of all, what is Mercury in the world? Mercury is the media. Mercury is the sources of information. They're triggering this social tension that's been happening between Uranus and Jupiter. The media will be on fire next week. Obviously it's been already, but some important information can come out because Mercury is information, Pluto is secrets, Uranus is truth, Jupiter is social status and people in power. Wow! And Mercury is in Capricorn, the sign of institutions. Something can be coming to the surface, some kind of very controversial information that shakes us up. There might be more attack on the media, or media can become more like going for the throat, for the, you know, and I'm not saying this is good or bad, it's just things are escalating, you know. Hard aspects don't necessarily bring difficult things, they bring intense, more shocking things. They bring things that everything God uses, no matter what it is, for the upliftment of humanity, for the progress of each soul and the whole humanity on the whole. But some of the things can be a little bit more shocking, a little bit more disturbing, you know. But let's see on the personal level what this means. Okay, well, on the personal level, who will be mostly affected is, first of all signs can be affected. But some important information that can shock you out, that can surprise you, that can change your plans can come out this week. Towards the middle of the week in particular, but I'll give you the whole week. Mercury is our plans, Mercury is our schedules, Mercury is our routines, how we do things, our work responsibilities, and because it gets triggered with the planet of sudden changes and surprises, Jupiter, the planet of social status, Pluto, the planet of power, and transformations. So something can, for example, your plans might be one way and the middle of the week comes and you have to adjust. Something comes as a surprise, you have to change direction. Some relationships, Mercury rules interpersonal relationships, friendships, communications, business communications, anything where you exchange with another person, information, communication, relationships. They can be, suddenly can be thrown off a little bit. Some conversations that are quite intense, that bring to the surface certain secrets can happen as well, that bring to certain information that we were not aware, that kind of, you know, turns things around for us, you know, that creates this tension, but also allows for this tension which makes us take some action, because they're all happening in cardinal signs, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and they're about action. So something triggers us, some information, some communication, some business deal, Mercury, some plans turn us into action. And they might be a bit more stressful, they might be although a little bit more disruptive, but they trigger us into action to take some different direction. But who will feel this the most? Of course, definitely the cardinal signs. If you happen to have Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Libra, in Capricorn, in Aries, or Cancer. Cancer is the other end of the spectrum, even though there is no planet there, but they'll also feel it. But especially those that are born around the days or the degrees where the planets are 22, 21, 23. So I've written here, if you're Capricorn Sun, it means if you're born from around the 10th till the 15th of January, some very important events can happen in your life connected to many different areas of your life. To some kind of information and change of plans comes, something a bit disruptive which moves you into action, which moves you into a different direction. You know, if you are April born, which means Aries, from around the 9th till the 15th of April. Ooh, that's me as well. Some important piece of information that can change your social status, that can change your personal life, that can, or communication, or development, or business arrangement, or any kind of arrangement that can change also your relationships. And that's for all Cancer, Capricorn people, Libra, or Aries. Or for if you're Cancer, if you're born from around the 12th to around the 18th of July, you get triggered very powerfully. If you're Libra person, if you're born from around the 13th to around the 19th of October, you get very strongly triggered by this cardinal Tau square. And it's going to be dynamic and very interesting week. I don't get scared by those grand crosses. Yeah, they definitely surprise us, but I love movement and I love change, and we as cardinal signs, we love change, and this is when something comes and kicks us in the butt with the surprising information, surprising development, with even a new opportunity that can come out, which changes our plans and which changes the core things in our life, like relationships, career status, social status, personal direction in life, home, family life, you know, emotional world. But basically everyone who has Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in cardinal signs from around 19 degrees to around 25 degrees, pay attention. I gave you the days if your Sun is there, but if it's your Moon or Ascendant, you have to go in from my planetary detail table, enter your time of birth correctly, and see if your Moon or your Ascendant falls somewhere from 19 to 25 degrees in Libra, Aries, Cancer, or Capricorn, the cardinal signs. And this will definitely, you feel it, and you're going to experience the rising of changes that are happening. Anyway, that's what I see for this week, guys. Interesting, dynamic on the world level. I think it will be very interesting, dynamic, and surprising week, especially when it comes to media, Mercury, especially when it comes to institutions like Capricorn, governments, especially when it comes to civil rights, especially when it comes to matters of progressive changes. So anyway, enjoy the week. Come join me on the 12th. We're gonna go so much in depth for the soulmate compatibility, and I will see you next week.